Welcome to today's deep dive. We have an absolutely incredible journey planned for you today. But to set the stage, we really need to point out today's exact date.
Right, yeah, it's June 21, 2026.
Exactly. And that date is the literal foundation for our mission today. We're going through a massive, just a wildly eclectic stack of notes and articles from a newsletter called the Sunday Blender.
It's such a fascinating read.
It really is. And the mission for you as you listen today is to uncover what we're calling the hidden architecture of our world. We're talking about all those invisible forces, the algorithms, the math, the supply chains that silently govern everything we experience.
Yeah, from the weather outside to, global sports tournaments.
Right. And what's the blueprint for this?
So we are going to start massive, looking at the planetary forces shaping our environment,
Yeah.
and then zoom way down into the invisible algorithms in our phones. From there, we'll look at the statistical illusions we fall for, and finally, how human beings are desperately trying to reclaim their focus.
I love it. So going back to the date, June 21, why is this so critical to the geometry of extremes?
Well, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere today, you are experiencing the summer solstice. It's a massive, unseen mechanical shift. The Earth is sitting at a 23.5-degree tilt.
Right.
And today, the North Pole points as far toward the sun as our orbit physically allows.
Which obviously gives us the longest day of the year. And the notes mention the Latin root of solstice means sun standing still, right?
Yeah, exactly, because the sun basically seems to pause its path across the sky for a few days.
It's incredible. And there's this great historical Easter egg in the newsletter about humanity, trying to match that planetary geometry.
Oh, the Ferris wheel story.
Yes, on this exact day, June 21. But back in 1893, George Ferris debuted the first Ferris wheel in Chicago.
Just to beat the Eiffel Tower. The ego involved is amazing.
Total ego trip. It was 264 feet tall with 36 cars. And get this, each car held 60 people.
Oh, wow. That is massive.
Right. But it's so fitting because it's like we are sitting on a Ferris wheel right now that's suddenly spinning off its axis. We just feel the local breeze, but the whole machine is fundamentally changing.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Because the newsletter pivots to the extreme shifts happening right now, like the super El Nino that's building.
And it's the strongest one since 1877, isn't it?
Yeah. It's causing this gigantic pool of warm water to just spread eastward. The planetary ripples are huge.
It's terrifying. And then you look at the other extreme down in Antarctica.
The A23A iceberg.
Exactly. This thing is the size of 2 Luxembourgs. It broke off in 1986 and was stuck for 30 years.
Just completely grounded on the seafloor.
But the notes say it has finally melted, just gone. And the winter temperatures on the Antarctic Peninsula hit 15.4 degrees Celsius.
Which is, what, like 20 degrees above normal?
Yeah, exactly. 20 degrees Celsius above normal, right in the dead of winter. It's just wild to think about these massive physical forces.
But then the deep dive shifts into how those unseen forces aren't just physical, they're digital too.
Oh man, the invisible algorithms of play. This part blew my mind.
The Dutch paper, Trouw, right?
Yeah.
The report on Pokemon Go.
Yes, so people are just walking around parks, having a good time, trying to catch digital monsters.
Just playing a game.
But they were actually doing massive free labor. Players scanning real-world statues in parks billions of times actually helped train Niantic's visual AI positioning system.
Which is incredibly valuable data.
Right, because it works when GPS is blocked. And now Niantic has partnered with a U.S. defense firm. They are using this tech for military drones.
It's crazy to think about. You're just playing the game on a Sunday, and you're secretly building the mapping architecture for a drone.
Totally invisible to the user. And you see this tech layer everywhere now, especially at the 2026 World Cup.
Oh, the AI offside system is a huge example of this.
Walk us through how that actually works, because the specs are insane.
So the official ball has a sensor in it, right? And it fires at 500 hertz.
Wait, 500 hertz, so it's tracking the ball 500 times a second.
Exactly. It knows the exact microsecond a player kicks it. And while that's happening, stadium cameras are tracking 3D models of every player.
Built from, 1-second pre-match scans.
Yeah. So the AI combines the ball sensor data with the 3D player models, and it can whisper the offside verdict to the referee in seconds.
Down to a 10-centimeter accuracy. That is literally the width of a hand.
It's mathematically perfect geometry.
But I have to push back here. If we are flagging a player offside by 10 centimeters using a 3D scan, are we still measuring the spirit of the game? Or have we just turned human sports into, rigid geometry?
Well, The system's creators would say they're just removing human error.
Yeah.
But you're right, it creates this illusion that if we just have enough data, we have perfect control.
Which segues perfectly into the next section of the newsletter, the illusions we buy into.
The Panini World Cup sticker albums. This is the best example of a mathematical illusion.
Oh, I used to collect those. It's, what, 980 stickers to fill the book?
Yep, 980 slots. And you think, okay, I'll just buy enough packets and I'll finish it.
But the math is absolutely brutal.
It really is. To get those final 10 stickers, you can't just buy a few packets. The math requires you to buy around 98 packets just to find one missing slot.
Because it's completely randomized.
Exactly. If you try to finish it alone without trading, it takes roughly 7,300 packets.
7,300 packets, so you mathematically have to trade with people.
You literally have to. The idea that you can just buy your way to a complete album is a complete illusion.
Just like the illusion of possession in soccer, which the notes completely tear apart.
Oh yeah, high possession is constantly mistaken for dominance.
Like if you have the ball all the time, you must be winning.
But the newsletter shows it's often a metric of desperation. Look at Turkey against Paraguay.
Right. Turkey had 80% possession and 32 shots.
And they lost 1-0.
Unbelievable. And Portugal had 75% against DR Congo, but only managed a 1-1 draw.
It just proves that having the ball doesn't mean you're actually penetrating the defense. You're just passing it around the perimeter looking busy.
Looking the part without actually winning? Which reminds me of literal illusions like the story of Jeffrey Wall.
The fake pilot. His story is wild.
He flew Air Canada jets for 17 years, over 900 flights.
And nobody knew.
Nobody knew. He forged his license, made $3 million, and then just safely retired. It's a real-life catch me if you can.
He projected the perfect illusion of competence.
Exactly. Look at Wall's fake license and Turkey's 80% possession. It makes you wonder, do we too often confuse looking the part with actually winning the game?
Definitely. And sometimes you think you've won, and the physical world just reminds you that you aren't in control at all.
Ah, the Belgian cyclist, Liam Slock.
It's tragic, but kind of funny.
4-year drought. He finally wins the GP Gippigan. He crosses the line, raises his arms in early celebration.
And he just gets caught by a gust of wind.
Slides across the finish line right on his face. An illusion of total control, completely shattered by a literal breeze.
It's a great reminder of those unseen forces we were talking about earlier, which actually brings us to the unseen hands shaping global culture.
This part is so fascinating. Let's look at the NBA Finals. The Knicks beat the Spurs 4-1, winning their first title in 53 years.
Jalen Brunson dropped 45 points in Game 5.
Huge game. But the newsletter shifts the focus to the Spurs giant, Victor Wembanyama.
Right. The editor drops this incredible personal anecdote here.
It's so random but so cool. Wembanyama is actually a junior Shaolin Kung Fu disciple.
In Shanghai.
Yeah. He trains under Master Yanan, who is a 34th generation disciple, and he's learning alongside the newsletter editor's own son.
That is just, it's a wildly small world.
It really is. And it zooms us out to China's massive, completely unseen footprint at this World Cup.
Because China's senior soccer team is, well, they're famously weak.
Yeah, they only qualified once in 2002 and got 0 points and 0 goals.
But Chinese business basically runs the 2026 World Cup behind the scenes.
Completely. The notes say 70% of the merchandise comes from Yiwu.
The referee screens are made by Hisense.
The AI we talked about earlier is powered by Lenovo. Even the transportation Mexico is using these 26-meter Yutong electric land trains to move fans.
Oh, and the viral Labubu dolls everywhere.
Also Chinese. It's like massive invisible supply chain. But then contrast that corporate dominance with China's U12 team, the football kids.
Coached by Donglu.
Right. They train just on weekends. And they just became the first non-European team in 37 years to win the prestigious Sigismondi Cup.
They beat Everton's youth team, right?
Yes. So the top-down national team fails, but this grassroots group of kids quietly wins it all.
While the actual World Cup is just a massive goal fest.
Oh my gosh, 38-year-old Messi playing his 6th World Cup.
And he scores a hat-trick?
Tying closest 16-goal record and beating Ronaldo's age record. Plus you've got Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Haaland just lighting up the tournament.
The talent is unreal.
But it's wild to think for a second. The giant trying to block shots in New York honed his footwork in a Shanghai temple. And the screens judging a World Cup in Mexico were shipped from across the Pacific.
The world is so much smaller and more interconnected than we think.
But maybe it's becoming too interconnected. which leads to the final section, reclaiming the human element.
Yeah, people are starting to push back against all these invisible algorithms and screens.
There's a massive legislative shift happening. The UK is banning social media like TikTok and Instagram for anyone under 16 by 2027.
And Sweden has taken it a step further. They are physically collecting phones from kids aged 7 to 16 during school.
Because their literacy rates were slipping, they're actually spending millions to bring printed books back into classrooms.
It's like a global realization. Australia banned social media for kids back in 2025, and now Europe is following suit.
We're forcibly dismantling the digital architecture. But even without bans, we see these beautiful, spontaneous human moments breaking through at the World Cup.
The Japanese fans in Texas are a perfect example.
Oh, staying behind to clean the stadium.
Yeah, they were meticulously picking up trash. Even the guys fully cosplaying as Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball.
I saw pictures of that. It was amazing. And the newsletter notes this stems from childhood school routines in Japan.
It's an analog, deeply human habit.
Just like the England fans in Dallas, they turned Oasis's song Wonderwall into this massive, viral, unofficial anthem.
Just tens of thousands of people singing together.
And it deeply moved the players. Bellingham and Kane just stopped and took it in.
To tie all this together, the expert in the newsletter uses this brilliant art analogy. Georges Seurat's 1886 painting, A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte.
The pointillism painting, right?
Exactly. Seurat used millions of tiny, separate dots of pure color. If you stand right up close to it, it's just chaotic dots.
It makes no sense up close.
But when you step back, the human eye blends it into this beautiful, cohesive scene of Parisians relaxing by the river.
And maybe that's exactly what's happening with these screen bans. We are so zoomed in on our individual digital dots, our phones, our feeds, that we've forgotten how to step back and see the cohesive human picture.
Like singing a song together in a stadium.
Exactly. So to wrap up this incredible journey, we've gone from the Earth's 23.5-degree tilt and massive melting icebergs down to the AI offside drones and panini sticker math.
We talked about fake pilots flying for 17 years and the invisible Chinese supply chains powering global events.
And finally, those millions of individual dots that make up our culture. But we want to leave you with one final, very provocative thought from the source material.
It's a really striking visual.
If you look at a map of every single country that has ever won the World Cup, they all fit into a single, neat triangle.
Spanning just Europe and South America.
Right. Despite all the globalized supply chains, the AI tracking, and the hyper-interconnected tech we discussed today, the ultimate prize is still stubbornly trapped inside that one geographic triangle.
It really makes you wonder.
Will all this invisible technology finally be enough to break the triangle? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Take a look around today at the hidden systems in your own life. And remember to step back.